What's up, YouTube? Today's episode is only going to focus on finding out which way our arrow naturally wants to come off our bow. Stay tuned, we'll get this thing started. What I'm going to be doing here is that we're going to be shooting from a distance of about 3 feet, mostly because most of the research I read online is that your arrow will begin to spin at about 3 feet. We don't want to do this whole process from too far away because then we won't actually be able to tell which way the arrow is spinning. What we've done here is that we have a bare shafted arrow. We don't want fletchings on it because we don't want anything to interfere with the natural spin of the arrow. With the arrow though, what we've done is that we've taken it and we've added a black line to the arrow, to the top of the nock here. The black mark is actually there just so I know which way the arrow is spinning after we shoot. Alright, so to do this process, we're going to be shooting from really close to the target. We want to be close enough to where the arrow doesn't make more than a quarter of a turn, or even less. So right about that 3 foot mark is what we're kind of looking at here. If we go too far back, the arrow will begin to rotate a little bit more, and we'll demonstrate that for you guys here coming up. So this is our very first shot. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the shot into the target from about this distance. Enough distance where we can clear. All right, go ahead and come up here and let's take a look at this. Now, what we're looking at here is which way is the arrow starting to rotate out of the bow. So I want you guys to pay attention to the black line here. This should be, if it was vertical, that means it didn't rotate at all. But it started to shift to the left, which tells me that the arrow naturally wants to rotate to the left. A lot of people will say then you want to go with the left helical. The reason behind this is that the right helical, to make the arrow spin to the right, is finding the way it naturally wants to go. So the left helical will allow the arrow to begin to spin faster. Alright, so this next one we're going to show you why you don't want to shoot this from a distance. We're at about 15 feet right now. When we make this shot, we're going to see how the rotation is on the bare shaft. Remember, I'm starting off with the black line straight vertical, right? It's straight up, right in my face, pointing straight up the bowstring. So let's see what happens here at 15 feet. All right, let's go check it out. What is interesting about this is that you know from 3 feet out, this is starting to rotate to the left. So it was only, last time it was only about this far, but this time, let's look at that black mark. It's all the way over at what we would call the 3 o'clock position. Probably assume that this was a right hand rotation, when in reality it's actually a left hand rotation. So that's why we have to shoot this from up close, about that 3 foot mark. Just far enough away to where the arrow begins to rotate, but also far enough away to where it actually will clear your bow. The reason why all this is important is that we want to find out which way our arrow wants to naturally spin off the bow. This will help us out in the next step when we decide which way we want the helical of our vanes to be. If our arrow naturally wants to spin to the left, we probably want to go ahead and go with a left helical so that the arrow begins to spin a little bit faster outside of the bow, or it doesn't take as long for the helical to take over, versus the right helical, which is fighting the natural way the arrow wants to spin. Now, there are some generalizations going into this, that most right-handed shooters, the arrow wants to spin to the left off the bow, versus left-handed shooters, it tends to want to spin to the right. All in all, you want to find out what works best for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching this episode. Stay tuned for upcoming episodes as we start to dig in a little bit deeper of each step of the process. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and most of all, stay safe out there, and God bless all of you. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Just keep it.
All right.
I can't stop laughing. You go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.